Okay, well, after months of this, and this, and this, it's finally time for another game review. Before I start though, I just wanted to point out a few things I've learned while doing these reviews. Firstly, most people don't get the fact that these games are only available in Japan. As such, you can't get them in English. If it was in English, I would be playing it in English. And if I ever did play one that was in English, I would let you know. If you see a game on here you like, the best option is to buy a Japanese PS2, as the PSP alternatives are usually more expensive and you'll save money in the long run. Secondly, I said CC, though most of you are saying it's actually pronounced C2, or Elizabeth, or something. Anyway, end of the day, just call her whatever the hell you want, but I will just refrain from calling her anything from now on to avoid outrage. Also, I made a joke about Sasuke in the Battle Stadium DON review. Bad move. Fangirls don't get jokes. Finally, I have learned how incredibly patient you guys are. So thank you. Thank you for waiting for so long for this review. I haven't even had time to make a new opening. So, this'll do for now. Rurouni Kenshin is one of my all-time favourite animes, of all time. I was never really into samurai and swordplay type anime, and it was a sheer fluke that I stumbled across the first episode on a preview disc. Rurouni Kenshin is the story of a wandering swordsman of the same name. After participating in the Bakumatsu War, earning the title Batosai the Manslayer, Kenshin swore never to kill again in atonement for the hundreds that he murdered, and later to be revealed plot elements, carrying a reverse blade sword. Through his quest of atonement, he meets Kaoru Kamina, who is fighting someone who claims to be Batosai. Kenshin makes short work of him, of course, reveals himself as the real Batosai, and then proceeds to be offered a place to stay at the dojo, since he's actually really nice until you piss him off. Along the way, he makes new friends, new enemies, and is consistently pushed to the brink of reverting back to his old Batosai and killing once again. Now, I knew this would make a cool game. I mean, think about it. Man using insane physics-defying aerial slashes in ye olde Japan while pledging not to kill, yet still hitting with enough force to drive you off the ground? I'm in! It takes place during the Legend of Kyoto arc of the series, where Kenshin is forced to return to Kyoto and face off against Makoto Shishio, another manslayer who plans to take over Japan. Of course, he has his own little band of misfits too, so Kenshin is going to have to work his butt off to become strong enough to enter the face-off without killing anyone. The story aspects are conveyed in one of two ways, either with still images from the show read through scrolling text, or with fully animated cutscenes. These interactions play out almost exactly as they did in the series, so if you have enjoyed the series already, you should be able to follow it along almost instinctively. There is a tutorial stage, but I was a bit gung-ho and jumped headlong into the battle. After all, the last time I did a tutorial, I was stuck there for a few hours trying to figure out how to finish it. It's basic hack and slash. One button is light attack, one is heavy, one for jump and one for dodge. You can also sidestep attacks if you dodge at the right moment, giving you a chance to counter, and you can also flat out block, which is useful until the last stage of the game where blocking doesn't do anything. There are 3 characters to choose from the offset, with a 4th unlocking after you finish the campaign. Each follows the Legend of Kyoto arc, with each character engaging in their key fight scenes. Each also has a separate way of undertaking fights, such as Kenshin being much more focused on multiple button inputs to use his Hiten Mitsurugi style, Saito just spamming the thrust move over and over, and Sanosuke just mashing a button to pummel the living heck out of everything. They also have a super special attack or two, which I will explain later. Your hub is pretty straightforward, with an image of the character changing as they take more damage, and a bar changing from green to red over the course of the battle. While it is an adequate way of recording your health, sometimes it just doesn't seem precise enough, with many times arising with you wondering just how many more hits you can take. There are 2 types of fights, boss fights and street fights. There is a set interval between each boss fight which lets you control your character as you run around a designated area, helping people and practicing your skills. At the end of each battle you gain points, which can be used to improve your strength, speed, stamina, and other things, making the next boss fight easier. Each boss displays skills that represent their arsenal in the series, but there really isn't much else to say beyond that. How about you join me through a playthrough of the Kenshin arc? No better way to show you what it's like than just to show you. Kenshin's arc starts off with him battling generic henchman troop number 3, which follows the you can't progress until everything is dead style of fight. Although, they can't really die, can they? Till everyone disappears? I'm sucking pretty bad here. Making no excuses, but there you go, winning. On to the first real fight. After meeting Saito, you fight this huge bald guy. I think his name is Kenkaku? I think. Now, in the series, Kenshin was hiding his sword techniques from Shishio during this fight, so I just mashed the attack button until I won. Don't know if it gave me more points, though. I really don't know if you get more points for being closer to the actual series. Can't hurt to try, right? Now you finally get to traverse the town, and after a lot of unnecessary jumping, I find my first fight. Some guy on a ledge. As you travel around, day shifts to night, and after a set period of time, the plot of the game kicks back in. So you're best spending your time just fighting, so you will be plenty strong for the next fight. Kenshin's sword breaks, and he gets a new one. And then, it's off to learn the last few techniques of the Hiten Mitsurugi style that he never learned before from his old master. Master is a crazy fast blocker. You're on a time limit too, so don't fight around too much. After your nap, it's time to learn the ultimate technique. An attack that hits the enemy in 9 places at once, meaning it can be blocked or dodged.
Using the godlike speed of the Hiten Mitsurugi style to its full advantage, you attack the 9 targets at the same time. This is the Hiten Mitsurugi style's Kuzoriasen. Hey! Stop standing there and give it a try!
You want me to do it just like that?
It's just R2 and triangle at the same time. Kind of an easy button input for the ultimate attack. Eh, Master? Oh well, time to go fight the final bosses and spam that over and over.
If there existed an attack that could defeat my Kuzoriasen, it would be this one. The final attack of the Hiten Mitsurugi style. Amakakeru Ryu no Hirameki.
Final attack?
Why the look of surprise?
Wait, so that's not the ultimate attack? Okay, well, what is it? Okay, now that's an ultimate attack. It's the same deal as the fake ultimate, but you have to sheath your sword and then press the input for the fake ultimate attack. Or something like that.
Well, I never said a single word about the Kuzoriasen being the final attack, did I?
No.
Do it once or twice and it becomes second nature. These kind of inputs also translate to the other characters in the game, so once you get one character down, you can figure out the rest in a matter of moments. Poor Master barely survives, and then you're on to fight your final foes. I mean, after walking around a bit more. You see Sagara fall over, and then you fight a guy called Aoshi Shinomori. Now, in the series, Kenshin said he would not use his sword in this fight, but it's kind of impossible, so I just wailed on him with ultimates until he fell down. Though his fight has 3 rounds, so it was a little long. On to a fight with a kid called Sojiro, who is a master of teleportation jutsu or something. I mean, look at that! Are you kidding me? Okay, time to hit him with the ultimate undodgeable attack! Oh, come on! He totally laughed that off! Just like in the anime, I guess. You know when I said you can just spam ultimates? Well, that isn't technically true. That little flickering light next to your character picture designates the availability of the ultimate. If it changes to yellow, it means it's ready to go. If you just use one, or you miss, you have to wait a while before you can knock out another one. Just keep dodging around. Once he lands and throws out his own move that misses, he stands still for a second, giving you the chance to smack him into the air. Luckily, your actual ultimate attack only has to get close enough to do damage. Why, you ask?
The force of his fart was so great that it blew the air away from me!
That's why. 2 rounds of teleportation and it's over. On to the main event, Shishio, and all the 4 to 5 rounds of him. He sure takes his sweet ass time getting over here. Okay, Batojutsu. Ah, you smartass. Truth be told, he is a pushover when compared to the last guy who was using wormholes or something. Shishio tends to just stroll casually towards you. He doesn't hit often, but hits hard. Just keep moving, and when you're ready, hit him with the Amakakaru Ryu no Hirameki. Is that right?
The Amakakaru no Hiru
Amakakeru Ryuru no... Sorry.
Tikinga Flingadingi.
Amakaku Kama Kama.
The Amakakaru no Riru Fliegenflagen.
Amakakeru Ryuno Hirameki.
I don't want to spoil anything, but if you win, certain people live, certain people die, and all live happily ever after until the next arc that wasn't in the manga. There you go. That's the Kenshin game for you. There's nothing in the way of special features, but the fact that it follows the story along so closely to the actual anime and lets you play out those fight scenes is what I always wanted in a Kenshin game. Yes, it has some faults, like the lock-on being a bit funky and the attacks you want not always registering, and the town section just breaking up the action with tedious talking to people who all look the same. But what can I say? I love this series. If you like the series, you will like the game, and if you haven't seen the show, it'll make you want to see it, especially so you can put this into context. Overall, great fun. A little buggy, but great fun. And with 4 campaigns, fun for quite a few hours. What next, I hear you ask? Well, I need to review this, as you can imagine. Though the final bosses are becoming quite a pain. I think you have to fight 5 in a row or something like that. In the meantime, I'll just play it safe with a game based off a depressing, dramatic anime, since I'm sure it'll just be text skipping and I can just nap through it. I just learned to shut up already.